Has this ever happened to you? You're playing a League player and you're doing your best, but you're just kind of getting mixed up. You know, you're getting clapped, you don't know what's going on, you're getting high crush, counter hit launcher, all that, and then some. Well, look no further. I have played the homie and I have decided that, yo, if I want to get good at this game, I have to lab. And so I've been labbing the character, Lee, and I hope that you take something from this because it took all day. Well, cap, it took this morning, but please enjoy this everything guide. Well, not really everything. There's a lot in here. It's over an hour, so please enjoy this guide on Lee versus Lili. Starting things off, this section right here is going to be going over the heat engagers. Lee has 5 heat engagers. All of them fucked up. Excuse me. He has 444, which is I11. He has down forward 323, which is I14 natural counter hit combo. He has down forward 44 natural combo. Then he has 443 and Hitman Stance 111. Out of the 5 of those, down forward 323, excuse me, I have it written down with the 4 for some reason. Down forward 323. If he gets the full string on counter, it is launcher. So it looks like if basically I14 counter hit launcher and heat. Then he has Hitman Stance 111. That one is I12, but in Hitman Stance it becomes a launcher and heat. So those are the 2 things that would be really big payoff. For the other 3, I was about to say 2, but other 3. So 443 is also a launcher, but that's the one you'll be hit with a neutral or maybe a long range punish. 444 and down forward 44 are both counter hit extension moves. You'll see League players do maybe down 2 on counter hit or misstep back neutral 4 on counter hit into it. And so it's like those are things that are gonna be, you'll see him off counter hit and stuff like that. And then he has heat moves. He has down 4 3+4, which is homing I16, 0 on block, can go into misstep. And then he has down 1+2, which is I18, but +6 and +8 if he goes into Hitman Stance. Also knocked down a normal hit. Both of them knocked down a normal hit. But those are the things he has. He also has Heat Smash, I14, not seen here because I didn't record it. This next part here is me going over the counter hit launchers, or notable counter hits and stuff like that. And so I tried to record what they look like on counter hit, and I tried to record what they look like on block and stuff like that. If I didn't, I'm sorry, I'm but one person. Lab the character yourself. But I believe I tried to show what they did as far as like whether it's on like wall splat or kind of what they'd be used for and things of that nature. But I did have the frames on to help you see the startup on them. Like for instance, a lot of these are like I11, I10, really fast moves. That's what this whole section is going to be here. I try to differentiate them based upon the stages of the stage that they are at to help me like see them. So this is me going back and re-recording them, and I'm gonna. I don't know why we recorded this. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna show you what they are on block. I'll see shortly. But yes, so there we go. I knew I went through and showed you what these are on block. And so that one, any move that looks like 4 1+2 or neutral 1+2 but comes out of a string is -12. Fun fact. But yeah, this whole section will just be moves that are counter hit.
It's a new day, and I'm back in the lab going over this video. Um, I'm doing forward 4-3 and talking about the move, but then I started looking at down forward 4 at the same time. So be mindful, these are two different moves. There's forward 4-3 and there's down forward 4-4. Both of them also go into Hitman stance. There's an option for both of them. But I think actually 4-4-3 goes into Hitman stance and down forward 4 goes into Hitman stance. So those are two separate strings. Forgive me on the mix up there. Good morning. I've been seeing this video for a little while now, and I don't want to do the notation anymore. But the information you see visibly portrays information and stuff like that. But on the later half of this video, I go into more in-depth Lili versus Lee and Lee versus Lili, and so these sections just going over the nitty-gritty, and it's kind of overkill personally for me to go through all this again. But so I just wanted to say the rest will just be visual information, a little bit of auditory. I talk a bit more about down 3 later, but definitely I think the biggest part about this move is just getting comfortable with that it exists, so that way you can get counter hit less. So don't fret.
moving on, this next section is going to be all of the options out of Hitman stance. There was one option I missed, which is really cool. Lee can do 1-3, which is he does Hitman stance 1, but cancels into his armor move. This is me also showing that 1-1-1 is duckable. But yeah, this is all gonna be Hitman stance moves. I go over them a bit more when I get to Lee versus Lili. I look at what Lee does in pressure sequences. And then I also look into what you should be aware of with the different things. So if you don't want to just see me go through every move that he can do out of Hitman stance, there will be other things in this video that go over them in more detail or with more context. This entire section will be all of the moves that go into Hitman stance, and so he has a lot of them. One thing I'll note while we're here in Hitman stance is, depending on how safe the move is, will kind of determine what option you should be aware of after. A lot of these kind of set up for Hitman stance 3, the armor move, but if it's a bit safer, it'll set up for like maybe a high crush with Hitman stance 4 or Hitman stance 2. Or maybe even Hitman stance 1-1-1, stuff like that. And so these are just all the things you should be kind of aware of. You won't always see all of them in play. It depends on the player. But it can get pretty tricky because a lot of them kind of go into each other in some way, shape, or form. Like you're able to do Hitman stance situation, right, into one of the Hitman stance moves. And then those Hitman stance moves will then go into a plus situation, which then will lead to a move that goes into Hitman stance again. So it kind of loops that way. Super cute, love to see it. This section here will be all the moves that goes into misstep. So with misstep, it doesn't always change the frames on the move, but sometimes it does. Some moves become more plus with misstep. There's not a whole lot of options out of misstep. He gets misstep 3-4, which is a launcher, and he gets misstep 3+4, which is the sweep option that he has out of misstep. But more often than not, misstep is used within combos and stuff like that. But as mentioned, it gives more plus frames on some moves. Sometimes it doesn't give more plus frames on moves, but it's just, you want to kind of be aware of some of the situation, because with misstep, he has the option to go into misstep back, or is it? It's like back sway. You go into misstep and then you back sway forward, and it's like a low. That kind of gives you a heat engager. But these are going to be all the moves that go into misstep. Next up, we have the Hitman stance. Incorrect. Next up, we have the high crushing moves. And so, with the high crushing moves, some of them are frame dependent. Like down 2, I was only able to get to come out after a specific situation. I think it's range dependent as well. But down 2 high crushes, down 3, so you'll see all of them here. You just want to be aware of them. Some of them with sidestep versus, some of them just, block. But this is what they are, so you're aware of them and kind of where they come from and stuff like that. Some of them come out of Hitman, some of them come out of full crouch, some of them you just do a neutral. This is what they all look like. So if you made it this far into the video, or if you skipped to this part of the video, that's cool too. This part is going to be specific Lili versus Lee, and this is going to go over things that I feel I need to know about, or need a little more attention. The first part of this video, I just kind of went over the different stances, the heat moves, just kind of generic information. I didn't really have a lot of context to it, besides kind of the purpose I saw that they had, like counter hit moves, heat moves, high crushes, stuff like that. And so this is going to be more about, if I'm steering Lili, what should I worry about with Lee? Or if Lee's steering, what should I be concerned about? What can I do to kind of steer to my favor? And so I opted to just talk through this because I feel like it would be cool to see my thought process and kind of what I'm looking into. So first things first, I'm going to go over the things that Lili is going to introduce as far as offense and Lee may react to. It's going to be a lot of recording, so bear with me. I'll try and be as efficient as possible. First things first, if Lili goes for down 4-3 and Lee does, while saying 3-3, that's not right. I have to go to crouching recording. Okay, that's super fast. It's also least punish versus wall setting one or back 1-2. So you'll see stuff like, let me on the other side. You'll see stuff like this. So if you go for this move often, you should be aware of the wall setting 3 mix up and how the punishment works. But we're just going to talk about down 3 versus wall setting 3-3. So if you just block it, launch punishable, right? But ooh, the pushback on that was kind of a bit far. Yeah, I didn't know. That's, yeah, it's I-10, so it trades with, wait a minute. Interesting. Let me try that again. It's I-10 at its fast. I-10 to I-12, so. Oh, I'm tripping. Well, +3 into I-10 to trade with I-10. But it beats stuff like this for sure. Like, look at that. It's saying the fastest that came out at. No, I'm backwards. Okay, there we go. I was like, why does this work? I haven't ate breakfast yet. So +3 into I-10 means his move's gonna come out 3 frames slower. So therefore, it's gonna trade with down 4-1. Loses stuff like 1+2. Stuff like that. Alright, cool. But we also know that. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Next, we're gonna have. This is something that popped up a lot in the set that I have versus fighting GM. He would do down 3 after when I was in back turn, which is a great option because back turn's minus normally. And he would do down 3, which is a counter hit launcher. And I was kind of banking on this in a lot of situations. And so I was like, well, if he's gonna do it, this is the option I was going for. I can punish with yeah, this doesn't come out quick enough, unfortunately. That's I-10. In theory, it should be quick enough, but I think the frames to cancel is too slow. Like even with that's, I think in theory is faster. Yeah, it's too slow. But yeah, it's I-16. So this is -4. So yeah. Something like that. That's how I would be able to call it out with the divides. If this is taking 5 DR, you know, you get up 3+4 out of back turn. Yeah, I was trying to see maybe if I could just turn around fast enough and block. But it's not too bad if you just turn around and block and you get down 1 or down 3 because it's, you know, you don't get counter launch for it. You know, you just block. But that's what I would do. Good combo. So it's just an option. Like if you think they're gonna go for it, you can make a rebase on that. Next we have down 4-1 if versus if they do down 3 again. So I was like, during this when I was playing Leo, like I realized I wasn't stepping enough. So you can step some stuff like this. An interesting frame trap or situation you run into later is that down 3 high crushes, 4-4-4 high crushes, and down 4-1 has tracking, I think. So it was like, is it on here? Yeah. So we're gonna step like this. Gotta step left. Which I always forget. I should be writing this down. Okay, down 3, side step right. Down 4-1, side step left. Big jab or crush. -15, side step left. Jab, 1+2. Okay, cool. So yeah. That would be the down 4-1, but if they go for down 3, you know. If you're going for 1-1, you get counter hit. If you just do jab by itself, you won't get counter hit because it's not active like that. It'll just whip. Which one of these is down 3? Oh, that one is. Like that. They're going to get into it. Technically, side step block would be both of those options. And then some of these are just very specific interactions, like stuff I did and then stuff that he did in response or decided to do it. I wanted to be aware of what could happen. So he activated homing. I'm glad that move doesn't have armor break because the next situation I'm lobbing is 1-1 into it. This is minus. Oh, okay. -6 into I8 comes out at 14. Like that. Crazy big shot. Take that. Cool. This happened when I was at the wall, and he went for this option. So the next option we're looking into is down 4. Down 4 is I12. Alright, so I12, super fast. It doesn't high crush, thankfully. But stuff like this, switches to standing block. I'm looking into down 1-2. +3. I think look for something slow. Yeah. That's standing 3. Can I step this one? Nice. So that's like the territory of side step left duck to deal with down for 1 and down 3. You can just side step block and get it down for 1. Look at that. That has pretty good tracking. Voila! Next 3-2 versus down 4-1. I think this is on hit, maybe. Let's look at on hit and on block. -5. -2. Yeah, you side step left. max Lili can step at -6. That's not too bad. I've been trying to get into strings a bit more just because people do a lot of strings versus me, and I'm like, but this has this weakness, this is minus, but people have shown me that it's definitely for me strings. You saw that. It's like that's the version. That's pretty rare. I mean, depends on the vibe if I would go for like that. So this is specific to teching. On knockdown, what do they do? Oh, is it this? Oh, here it is. Akumi. Knowing what options to do after this. The deeper. Okay, at +4, you can do jab, and it beats armor. The +3 is, I thought it was a bit more plus. It can be, but it's range dependent, so you gotta be careful. Yeah. Or the stuff like this. Same thing. I've been going for this option just because I feel like the way they tech is a bit better if I go for this because they're really far away. Yeah, it leaves them in a way where it's like I can run up and do better. Next, we're actually gonna lab versus down 4-4 again. This time after down 1, 0 on block. It could be, yeah, 0 or +1. That's what it is. It's like tip range is +1, but the tip range is very rare. Like, look at that. It's like there it is. So yeah, 0 versus I-12. You get stuff like this. Yeah, I wouldn't want to bet my money on that. I've seen it sometimes where I'll do this, and I'll be too slow, like this. So that's something to be aware of. You'll get floated. Next, we're gonna look into heat engager options first. Yeah, I-15 loses the heat, but I-15 beats heat in armor. So I want to look at what options I have. I-14 safe, but I-14 on block is like -6 or something. I've been introducing just like down for 1, and then taking +8, which I guess is just like +9, but stuff like this. Grab break. I want to look at the frames. It's gonna do it. Let me see. This counts as punish. It does, so it's -3. If you look at it that way, It's kind of like a post, right? They're all -3. Nice. Nice. I was going for kill in this situation, big jab on hit, and he sidewalked left. Was down. And I was right. Oh shit. That trade is cute. What? Oh wow. That's what happened though. Nice. Okay. Classic serious. The safest option. Loses the armor. I think I step the other way. Okay, yeah. And then last thing I have for Lili steering versus Lee is slice them up with 2 versus down for 3. Oh, it's down for 4. I think I did that quick enough. I was trying to see the move at tracking. It does. Just a little bit. I can sidewalk it. Okay. And that's all I have for Lili versus Lee right now. I played the Honey yesterday, but I didn't lab that set yet. It went pretty well. I labbed the set prior to that one. Labbed all of this. I wrote down all the notes that I'm currently looking at right now, and all like the plus frame and frame stuff I labbed prior to the time we played yesterday, and I did really well. So I'm pretty proud that the labbing, helped. Because it was like I was getting hit with stuff I was unaware about, and then stuff I was like falling for, and I was like, well, let's lab it. So let's see. I think that took 15 minutes maybe. Took a little longer than 15 minutes. Just barely longer than 15 minutes. Okay, now we're on the second half of this Lili versus Lee. So this is gonna be the situation I wanted to lab from Lee's steering. So when Lee is initiating pressure, I was like, what am I getting hit with or falling for? And so some of these things I don't have an answer to right now. So I want to see what's going on. So first things first, I have to be aware of what kind of places I was getting hit with jabs. I'm doing 1-2 just so that way it can, if I'm doing 1-1 or 1-2, it'll show me getting counter hit instead of just a 1 jab recovering safely. Stuff like that, I would get hit with a lot. And then we also have down forward 1, because then you would get counter hit like that. Yeah. And then I'm moving a bit faster because I think this is going to work out a lot faster than I thought. I was worried about it taking too long. Like that. And so, actually no, I'm labbing this incorrectly. Yeah, if you go to the side side. So at 4-1+2, Hong was cooking with it. I think it's something I had to be aware of because I've lost to Lee using 4-1+2. Just because I felt like it's very effective. Like Lee, I feel like the less he does, the better. Just because his counter hits, in my opinion, are very effective and his punishment's really good. So whenever I would go for situations where I felt like, oh, he's just gonna, if he presses, this will work. But he would never press, and I would just get punished. And I was like, oh. But so stuff like this. he's able to lose it. And it's like, if I just want to step, I can't step. Oh, you can't really down. I guess you can cancel with crouch. You can like hit it perfectly. Or you can like really go really fast with it. But yeah. So that's something. He's +1 in Hitman stance. Or -1 there is. -1 if he doesn't go into stance. +2 in Hitman stance, and he has that. So if you're doing things like if you're pressing. Like that. Perfect. Next we have 442. This situation happened a lot because my answer was to jab, or it wouldn't happen a lot, but this so something I had to look into. +5 442 into the step. If you're doing jabs like 1-2, no, this is +5 as I can see. This is gonna be jab. No, it's because I'm doing 1-2. It shouldn't. If you just do a single jab, it will not counter hit. But yeah, that would be my answer. If you did stuff like this, the jab would be. Okay, he's 442. Stuff like that. Look at that. That would be launching. If you're in heat already, that is. Versus sidestep. Use sidestep down forward 1. Did I write it down? To the right. That's 2+. And you have the sidestep the other way for like that. Interesting. Let me see. I think I'm gonna do side walk left duck. Might not work. I think because the way I'm recording it and the size of switch is messing up the vibe. Yeah. Sidewalk left duck. But then sidewalk is gonna mess up the vibe on that. Something to be aware of. And then if he's in heat, he can do stuff like this. I lab walked in 3-3 down 4-3 earlier. Nice. But that was on block, so it's different. On hit, I don't think you do that. Yeah. You'd have to just guess the mix-up. What is that? 26? Yeah, so the same frame. It literally is just like you gotta see. Yeah, we lobbed this earlier, down for 1 to down for 1. You sidestep down for 1 to the left. Depends. Sidewalk looks very effective. I don't. Apparently down 3. I was probably under the assumption that down 3 is a bit more. doing? Down for one. Oh, I'm looking to see you. Lord Jesus. Yeah. Side step right down 3, but you can sidewalk it. Depends on the situations. Now jab into down 3. We just look at that core. 1, 2, 4 on hit. So it's +5 if you just frame it. +4. Damn, he's so high up. 4, 4, 3 into down 4, 3. I think I did hop kick here, and I got floated. Or I did cartwheel. I did something. Probably did cartwheel. Yeah, I think I did cartwheel and I got floated. Because cartwheel is a lot slower than hop kick. Yeah, that's what happened. Let me jab floated me. And then... Cute. Okay, this high crushes, this pressure sequence here. -2. Let me turn off. There you go. But then you get stuff like this. Side step left versus Lili. Oh wow, no step. So if your reactions are quick enough, you can beat the reaction. Then you get a little mini mix like this, like while setting 1 and 2, 3. Safe. Just like that. Down 3 into wall setting 2. -1. A tricky situation to try and take the frames out, I'd say. Just because of the mix-ups that come with like the high crushing and different things you can do. Down for 1 into 2, 2, 2. That is -1 into I-10. G class, super good. And then we have up forward 4. Like that. This puts you in force crouch. If you're not aware of using force crouch, you'll do something different than what you would expect to do. Okay, so that's all the stuff that I needed to lab from Lee versus Lili and Lili versus Lee. And so yeah, I think some key takeaways that I have from this situation is let me turn off heat because it's just gonna make noise. How long did that take? 50. Okay, so we're at the tail end of this So I went through all the stuff that I labbed with Lee, his plus frames, counter hits, stuff like that. And then I just went through interactions Lily versus Lee, Lee versus Lily. And now I've wrote down some things that I think are just some takeaways that you should be aware of. I'm just gonna go. I recorded them already, so this will be a bit seamless. And so, if you skipped all the way to this part, I hope this is what you're looking for, because it's definitely what I guess I was looking for. Um, First things up, we have down for 144. I like the jab. Mathematically, it makes sense. This is my turn. You can vary up your options by doing stuff like this. Side step also works. And then that plays into this right here. This would also be good, you know, like great. You got your options, your set or whatever. But then you run into stuff like, damn, I'm not. He's -1, so the frames are different. Yeah. That's how it gets you, you know. You have your +1, their +1, -1, and it changes everything. But all that to say, eventually you'll end up all together. Oh, sorry, Lee. You can sidestep this too. So sidestepping is a safer option, which leaves you open to more 1+2 stuff like that. But if you wait it out, you gotta be aware of the tip of this. You can sidestep that safely. And if he cancels that, if he just does 4-3, it's -14. I don't think I'm that cracked yet, but I hope so, that one day I will be able to like recognize it and punish it properly. If you just did 2 hits, my turn. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't fail, so you can't just like throw it out. Next you have 4 1+2, like I mentioned. Safe counter hit launcher plus goes into stance, a very core part of his gameplay, so you want to be familiar with the options he has after it, and the mix-up that comes with it. +2 into ice balls and trade jabs, so Lili can do Matterhorn. You can also step this move. Side step left appears better. But then that's how they get into, you know, the 1+2 loops and stuff like that, or 1+2 with the tracking moves. Sometimes you just want to block though, so you can maybe get used to doing fuzzy. I'm not the best spokesperson for fuzzying, but if you're in, you can get into it. Oh, that combo looks so cute. I dropped it. It's just 3. You want to learn that because it'll come up. So you don't get down for 1 on that. But mind you, jab reduced to 1-1-1, so it's a little mixed up there, you know. Stuff like this. Next up, we can get just going over. Be aware this is +5. +5 into maybe heating behavior. Just want to be aware that that is +5, you know, and that you can throw it out, you maybe get counter hits, stuff like that. You want to be aware of. Now we're gonna reload this up with some more options. The high crush options are huge, you know. So like this, or maybe stuff like Hitman 4. Same function, you know. One of them gets a bigger launcher. I think one of them is more punishable than the other two. So that's 14, 13. So that's, you have to be able to like technically see the difference. I think it's noticeable. You have to spring kick after that to avoid getting hit with the flop, the up 4 Hitman. But then if they're aware you're doing it, then they can punish you a bit for it. But that's something you want to be aware of. This is the counter hit launcher though. But yeah, this is really short and sweet, but those are things you want to look out for. You want to understand the mix-up between his counter hit launcher and his high crush launcher. I'm sorry, I just noticed the biggest spider web just sitting in my living room. Just, oh my goodness, it's like right next to my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And then we have yeah, be aware of his counter hits and his punishes. So he's really good at punishes. Stuff like if they got it like this. I'm not gonna get it. I'm just gonna turn heat on. But Lee has really good punishers that go into heat all across the wazoo. So if you're doing your -10, he has this. If you're doing -11, that's counter hits using. If you're doing -11, he has 444 heat engager. If you're doing -13, he has this. That's 443, so it's probably like 16 or something like that, 16, 17. But then I-14 counter hit launcher. And then he has this. To find his sidestep, also heat engager. And this one launches, so. That's stuff you want to be aware of. And then lastly, I think it's important to know how to punish the infinity kicks with your character specifically, because the ranges get very interesting. Excuse me. That. -15, but then you have to duck the dart. Excuse me. -15, if he just does while staying 3-3. Then if he does the infinity kick sequence, mid-high or low-high, all options are launch punishable. But the ranges are in a way where you have to duck the last high, otherwise you won't punish if he does all that. So it looks like this. Or if he does the low, you would have to do like that. Because if he does it, that's kind of yeah, even 3-1. That would be perfect, and I don't think you get that technically. So same thing with this. Excuse me. You get into these actually. When he does those, you have to then recognize he's not going to continue. And that's my Lili versus Lili matchup. But yeah, I want to do this for all characters. Spoiler, sorry. But not for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But for me, I need to know all characters, and it's important you know all characters too. So if you took something from this is great, but you need to do this yourself. You need to put in the time in the lab and see what you're running into that you are falling for, and lab it so you get the reps in. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this is inspiring, because it was inspiring for me to actually look through a whole character and record it. Took a little bit, I think maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, but I think it's totally worth it. So I'm going to put it all together and share it with you guys. So I hope you enjoy, but until next time, bye!